Hey, so in this video, I'm going to show you how I go about analyzing a chart from scratch. Okay, so I'm going to go through this quite slowly, but you'll get to see that actually by using certain tools, I can make very, very quick decisions. So I am going to be analyzing the dollar CAD. So here we start off with the monthly chart, and as you can see, this is what the monthly is doing. We go back to 2000. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to use our tool, drag it in, and what this is going to do, it's going to draw the key turning points according to the monthly chart, so you can see where we are. Okay, so we are on a very strong level right now that has not been broken. You can see clearly now that the lines have been added in, which you couldn't see before, that this is a very, very reactive zone. So immediately I know that the sellers are going to fight to keep this down. Okay, and you can see that the monthly went up, but yet the sellers have basically pushed it back down. Okay, so now that gives me a bit of a picture. Overall, the monthly, we are ranging between kind of these highs and these lows down here. So it already gives me some ideas. Excuse me. Okay, so let's now look at the weekly. So here is the weekly chart. You can see, again, the market is going in a range there. So I'm just going to put in the weekly levels just to kind of, again, really reiterate what we were saying there, okay? That the market is finding resistance here. Now, the other thing that we could have done is ahead of time is we could have also looked at the Fibonacci to see where the D might complete. So the way you would do that is you would tell the indicator where to start, because this is a manual Fibonacci, and then it will plot the fibs. So according to the current fibs, the market may, if it does push up, it may go here, but most likely it will go into this red zone here, which is also a double weekly level. So if the market starts to turn bullish and breaks through that monthly level, then I'm going to be looking to target 132. Okay, we'll find some opportunities, but right now you can see the market has rejected that area. So let's head to the daily. Let's zoom out, and again you can see what's going on here. So again, we can add some daily levels in if we wanted to, but I'm just going to have a little zoom in, because we can also potentially draw in a channel here. So what we need to do is we need to find a point that is being hit regularly, and then essentially connect. We want to try and find something that doesn't go through the bodies and hits multiple times. So you can see there, that looks like quite a nice line, and then we can duplicate that. And again, we're going to try and avoid as much as we can going through the bodies if possible. You can even see that kind of, no, it doesn't start there. So we could start it about there, and we can right click and we can extend it out, and we now have a channel. And you can see that the market has rejected that. So an easy way to kind of know if this market's going to break that monthly level is, often what will happen is the market will break the channel, and it will come back and retest it. And at that point, we are probably going to go head back to these weekly levels there, which is 132.66 and 133.23. So 130, so approximately up here, okay? So somewhere up there. So the likelihood is if we do break the channel here, we will then look for a pullback, maybe to find this as resistance, to then go target up there. But right now, that's not the case, and we should be looking at, say, any pullbacks to potentially sell back down towards the bottom end of that channel. Okay, so let's go and see what the 4-hour time frame is showing us. So let's have a little look, zoom out. So okay, perfect. So what I can see that's very, very interesting is this area up here looks quite good, 131. Whether we're going to get up there, I don't know. It probably, 131. Let me have a look at the daily chart. Where does 131 take you to? 131 actually is about there. So it's possible that 131 could be like there. It could be the top end of the channel, right? So there's a setup in itself. Okay, we've already found a potential short opportunity to sell, because if we can get up to this area here, okay, and it takes its time to get up there, then that potentially is going to be an opportunity to sell. Now, the other thing that we can do is, if this market is to now start going lower, what you can do is you can draw counter trend lines, okay, or market angles here, and look for a breakdown. Okay, so on these pullbacks, we can also plot the down fibs using our tool, so we can see how the market is moving in waves. And if we do that, you can see at the moment we're at a C point with a D point going lower down here. Okay, now although it's a little bit advanced, what I'd also be looking for there is a potential market angle to find some some hidden trend line there. If you're not familiar with that concept, if you've not done any advanced training, then what you can also do is, I would consider these kind of old support areas here to be areas that you could potentially look to find some areas to potentially sell. Okay, and the other tool that we will add to that level there is 129.18. This is 129.60. So short term, these could be nice areas to sell for short term opportunities. If we break through all of that, then I would then be looking at around 131 to 131.20 then to sell. So what else is there to do? Well, if we go over to let's remember these levels, 129.18, 129.60. I'm just going to head over to the hourly time frame, and there is something else that we can do, and that is we can put so we have the up fibs, so that the next Fibonacci is there, 128.97. You can see it's also a really nice level there. So look at the market reacting here in the past. Really, really nice, really strong support, good reaction there, good resistance. So this could be a really nice area too. Now, finally, the last tool that I want to use here is the DTR. So this is going to tell us the predicted high of the day. And that's very interesting, isn't it? Because that is very, very close to our level. So that comes in about 129.06. So not too far off from this level. And actually, if I could actually have adjusted this slightly anyway. So yeah, I think that makes that a really interesting area, because it's also the 618 of the fib. So for those that don't understand how the fibs work, that basically is a really, really cool place where it's a hidden level of resistance. So that to me looks like the area, guys. Having used all of the sort of confluences and all the tools, knowing that the market, the sellers want to push it down. Remember the monthly chart that we spoke about at the beginning, this fight going on in this strong area. And obviously you can see the weekly levels there. And then we've had a look at this channel where it's held as resistance. It does kind of make sense. You can clearly see this is a really interesting area, point of interest. So right there, look how many times we rejected in this area here. Okay, you can see that. And often as it breaks, it comes back to that point of interest, and then we could look for that next move lower. And as we mentioned, you know, depending on where it goes, if it goes up to 129, you'd be looking at, if this is going to complete its whole Fibonacci here, you'd be looking at a target of here, around 126.63 and 120.63. It, of course, you know, this is not going to move down there in one sweep. It's going to move in multiple waves. So if you want to go for a smaller target, then you could go for this 1 hour D right here, which comes in at 127.47. Okay, for those that want to go slightly, a bit more safe. Okay, but that's kind of it, really. And obviously, you know, you can go for the whole move back to the bottom of the channel, but it's risky because this is essentially a range and the market can change direction very, very quickly. So I prefer to do shorter term targets with something like this. So that is all. That is the dollar CAD, guys. Hope you like the way that I broke that down. If you've got any questions, do comment on the video. Otherwise, have a great day. Good trading. Catch you again soon with another video. Take care.